Welcome to It's Not What You Know! I'm Joe Lycett. If you don't know me, I'm a stand-up comedian from Birmingham. Imagine an openly bisexual Jasper Carrott. Now, I often say it's not what you know, but who you know. For example, when my friend's round-the-world flight was cancelled, I distracted her from the fact that she'd wasted thousands of pounds by showing her a signed javelin I'd stolen from Jessica Ennis. And when my mother cut her finger recently, rather than compress the wound, I showed her a selfie I'd taken with Anthea Turner. Not to Anthea's knowledge. This programme is not about what you know, it's about who you know. And most importantly, how well you know them. Tonight we're joined by 3 guests, each of whom has nominated someone they know to get rung up by me and asked a lot of questions. Like, are you single? Are you free on Wednesday? And do you have a safe word? Our panellists then have to guess the answers their nominees gave, and if they get enough of those answers right, they'll win tonight's star prize, a year's supply of supermarket shopping. Oh, sorry, I've misread that. It's a year supply teaching in Weston-super-Mare. But who'll be seizing this educational opportunity? It'll be one of tonight's guests, Terry Christian, Jocelyn G. Essian, and Aisling B. Joining us first this evening is Terry Christian, not only a hugely respected radio DJ, but also a major star of Channel 4 during the 1990s. Basically, he's Chris Evans without the money.
Steady on.
Terry, tell us who you've nominated to answer questions on your behalf.
Well, I've nominated somebody that I did share a bed with for several years, shared a lack of aspiration with.
Okay.
And, raced to the toilet with him a few times.
Well, let's hear who this person is.
I'm Kevin Christian. I'm an IT architect. I live in the Cotswolds, and I'm Terry's brother.
He sounds like the life and soul of the funeral. Is he always that cheerful?
Yeah, no, that's our Kev. He would make Jack D look like Ken Dodd.
So welcome Terry and Kevin. Next, we welcome Jocelyn G. Essian, writer, performer, star of TV's 3 Non-Blondes and Little Miss Jocelyn. She's appeared many times on BBC 3, so scramble aboard the Radio 4 lifeboat, Jocelyn, because that ship is going down. Jocelyn, who have you chosen as your nominee?
She's a writer, and she's a producer, and she also directed the Olympic 2012 opening ceremony.
Wow!
With Danny Boyle. Sorry, I nearly got sued then, with Danny Boyle.
Well, let's find out who it is.
My name's Paulette Randall. I'm a theatre and TV director. I live in Clapham Common, South London, and Jocelyn G. Essian is my good friend.
Doesn't sound like she likes you. Welcome Jocelyn and Paulette. And our final guest is Aisling B. Aisling is an actress and stand-up who was named Best Female TV Comic at the last British Comedy Awards. Aisling is from County Kildare. We don't want to make any easy jokes about Ireland this evening, but she did arrive tonight on a horse, along with her 7 children, each holding a potato. Aisling, tell us about your nominee.
My nominee is also a fellow potato lover. She's a wonderful friend of mine, probably my soulmate and wife for life, and I love her very much.
Well, let's see who they are.
I'm Brona C. Titley. I'm an actor and a writer. I live in London, and Aisling B. is my best friend and or soulmate.
Oh, she said soulmate as well. That's sweet.
Cuties.
Welcome, Aisling and Brona.
Yeah.
Well, we better get on with it before this tag on my leg starts beeping. Round 1 is where we ask your nominees some questions to find out what they know about you, and then you have to try and guess what they might have said. Terry, we start with you. We asked your brother Kevin, what's the most embarrassing thing about Terry? What do you think Kevin said? What do you find embarrassing? What's your...
I mean, just everything about myself.
Oh,
No, I mean it in a good way. I don't get too kind of anal about it all. I'm pointlessly belligerent.
Okay.
I'm procrastinating. I've got my head up my arse at times.
How do you manage that?
that's a skill.
You work on it. What would be the most embarrassing thing about me? That I was on the telly. Yeah.
That you were on the telly. Not what you did on the telly, just the fact of being on the telly.
Just being on the telly is enough for our Kev.
All right, let's see what Kevin thinks.
In some ways, it can be his accent, because people think it's false.
He thinks it's your accent because some people think it's false.
I do get people saying that to me, saying, you put that accent on.
Why would you put that accent on?
Exactly.
Yes, Kevin thinks the most embarrassing thing about Terry is his accent because people think it's false. Terry has a Manchester accent. I just need to point that out to all the listeners who are shaking their radios because they think there's something wrong with it. Being from Birmingham, people often think my accent is false, and they'd be absolutely right. Let's get on with the show, Bab. No points there for Terry. Jocelyn, it's your turn now. We asked your friend Paulette, when Jocelyn is performing, does she have any pre-show rituals? What do you think she'll say? Do you have any pre-show rituals?
I do, but I don't want to share them.
Oh, well, she might.
Yeah. That's why I'm holding my head, because she's, oh no, I should never have picked her. She'd tell you the truth. Okay. I think she'd probably say my ritual, maybe going over what I'm going to say. Yeah, I do.
So, talking to yourself,
I walk around talking, yes. But then she might say white wine. Like a bowl. Like a bowl of white wine.
I think that would be the thing that you'd remember if you went into the dressing room, saw a bowl of white wine.
Yes. Let's say a drink or something.
Let's check it with Paulette.
Drink.
Yeah, just drink. That's all she said.
Oh, I love her.
Does she have a drink before every show?
Depends on the show. I'm happy to have a glass of sherry of an evening.
Oh.
My dream is to have a glass of sherry while watching Columbo. That's just what I want to do all day.
What year do you think it is?
2 points. Aisling, it's your turn now. Aisling,
Right.
we asked your friend Brona, what do you reckon has been Aisling's career lowlight? Plenty to choose from, I imagine, but what's Brona?
No, it's true. You were like a Jeremy Kyle audience every time. Oh, no, he did! When I was at university, I did an ad for McDonald's, and I had to like kiss the face off this guy for 4 hours and then steal €1 from his pocket. And I was like, well, no one will see this, but it's a bit of cash for university. It went on every single bus stop in the Republic of Ireland and in the back of every single bus. And it also went on the bus stop in my town that I was from. Then, of course, some lad went in and wrote like a marker on the poster, like, oh, Aisling's a slut. Can I say slut on radio for? It's the truth. Which was a fair enough review for the time, let it be said. And my mother went in the middle of the night with Sif and a J-cloth and washed it off. Yeah, pretty grim. Maybe that, I'd say.
Maybe that?
I mean, No. I bet you any money I did a soap opera in Ireland. It's called Fair City. I bet you that's what she said.
My comment's not seeming so hurtful now, is it?
Yeah, no. I mean, there's a lot to pick from. Maybe the second one.
Okay, the soap opera.
Yeah.
Well, let's hear from Brona.
We both were elves in a giant Christmas theme park outside Dublin.
You were both elves in a giant Christmas theme park just outside Dublin. Tell us about that.
It was the worst thing that's ever. Yeah, it could make you barren working at a thing like that. That many awful children excited about Christmas. It was really grim. It was like on maybe like a drunk night out when I was feeling particularly lonesome. It was just this giant grotto where thousands of children went in every day to see Santa Claus. And one day, someone fell through the roof, and the whole thing had to be evacuated. And thousands of children who'd gotten there via the magical shuttle had to all of a sudden go out escape routes. The live reindeers had to come out. About 17 Santas who'd been in had to go and stand outside in the car park in front of all the little children. All the elves outside having a fag through stress. It was awful.
I still think the soap opera sounds worse.
Yeah. So much to choose from.
So that's no points to Aisling.
Oh.
Terry, another one for you. We asked Kevin, what did you think of Terry's TV show, The Word? What do you think he said?
He probably thought it was a load of it would have made Jeremy Kyle look highbrow.
OK, well, let's ask Kevin, what did you think of The Word?
I found it a difficult watch.
He said he found it a difficult watch. Yes, Kevin said that The Word was a difficult watch. The Word was on Channel 4, and it was a mix of music and chat. Basically, the Andrew Marr show for people that eat with their hands. Do you know what? I'm going to give you a point for that. Jocelyn, this one's for you. We asked Paulette, what does Jocelyn like least about modern life? What's she going to have said?
The only thing I can think about is technology. I'm quite bad with technology. I'm a proper cave woman. I mean, if I could send messages by just going, ooh, 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 I would. I literally would. I can't
Are you flirting with me? I can't work it out.
Yeah, I'd probably say maybe technology.
OK, well, let's see what Paulette thinks you hate most about modern life.
That the bars don't open late enough.
That the bars don't open late enough. Yes, Paulette says Jocelyn hates the fact that bars don't open late enough. I have to say there is a theme developing here, and one that probably ends in a Louis Theroux documentary. So no points there. Aisling, it's you again. We asked Brona, does Aisling have any phobias? What will she have said?
Pigeons. It's just their sort of pecky, jittery nature.
Is it a phobia, like you
yes,
can't...
properly. And it's not birds in general, it's just pigeons. And I think, like, British people tend to allow pigeons to roam about because of all the work they did during World War II. But I think... so, yeah, pigeons.
OK, let's see what Brona thinks.
Yeah, I don't think she likes birds.
She doesn't like birds, she said. So, yeah, close
Yeah.
enough. Yes, Brona says that Aisling has a phobia of birds. I have a few phobias of my own. Spiders, heights, and responsibility. No, I'm joking. My phobias are monogamy, mahogany, and Matthew McConaughey. I'm going to give you 1 point for that one. Terry, here's one for you. We asked Kevin, if Terry hadn't become a TV presenter, what job would he have? Now, what do you think he said?
God.
What did you do when you were around 17 or 18? What did you think you were going to be?
Unemployed for the rest of my life. No.
Let's see what he said.
No. Can I just pull this back a little bit? Because I did go to Polytechnic in London, and I was doing a degree in applied biology, and I set myself a very low standard and failed to maintain it. What was the question again?
Let's go with unemployed, shall we?
I think probably, yeah.
You think unemployed? You think you wouldn't? OK, let's see. Kevin?
I think you'd like being a writer.
Yes, Kevin says that Terry would be a writer in spite of the fact he already is one. Maybe Kevin hasn't read any of your books yet. Maybe they're still all out there waiting for him to discover, as they are for the rest of us. I'm going to give you 1 point because I feel sorry for you. And we're back with Jocelyn. We put this question to Paulette. If Jocelyn had her very own theme tune, what would it be? What do you reckon Paulette went
Better
for?
not be something to do with drinking. I like the music from Wonder Woman.
Oh.
Because I like to put my skates on and spin around and sing it to myself with a glass of sherry. I was back to drinking. So I bet she'd say something, I get knocked down, but I get up again. But I
think Wonder Woman would suit you. I feel like it would be something you could...
Yeah, but I don't think that's what Paulette would say. Because now I'm realising that Paulette sees me in a different way. In my head, Wonder Woman or anything by Beyonce.
Okay.
But Shine by Take That.
OK, let's see what Paulette thinks.
Hawaii 5-0.
Hawaii 5-0.
Oh, I need to have a talk with her afterwards.
I
don't
think so.
just need... Hawaii 5-0.
Should we have a listen to the original version?
It's good. I mean, it's catchy.
Does that make sense, or...?
No, why does she think that? Maybe it's because of the surfing that I do every weekend or something. It's not at all. I don't know why she's gone there.
No, I can't give you any points for that, sorry. Aisling, you're up again. We asked Brona, does Aisling have any bad habits now? Do you think she'll have lied, or will she have told the truth?
Oh, I hope she'll have lied. It's probably I give too much to charity. Such a bad habit.
No, I asked if she'd lied.
Not leaving the house. Quite a bad habit of forgetting to leave the house for days on end.
For days on end?
Yeah. I just forget to leave the house sometimes, and I stay in too much. There's always something. I always notice something before I go out the door, and then I end up watching Love Island. See, I knew there'd be people in who knew what that show was. Talking too much. Talking too much.
Let's see what Brona came up with.
With love, I would say maybe talking over people a little bit.
She go right! Talking over people too much.
Yeah.
Do you think that's fair?
Yes.
Let's move on.
Yes, it is. Yes.
Some people think it's rude. I don't. I think what's rude are our attempts to break into your perpetual barrage of loveliness.
Oh.
Made myself sick there. Two points there to Aisling. So, that is the end of round one. And in joint second place, we've got Jocelyn and Terry. But in the lead right now, it's Aisling. Now, this show is all about people you know, but there's nothing I love more than overhearing things from people I don't know. For example, this I heard in my local pub. If you close your eyes, spin to the left 13 times and touch your nose, it won't bring her back, Steve. And this, I've read all the baby books, and nowhere does it say I can't wipe my nose on the back of his head. That I overheard at the Duchess of Cambridge's baby shower. Round one was all about finding out what the nominees know about the panellists. But round two is where we see how well the panellists know the nominees. Terry, let's see how well you really know your brother Kevin, because we asked him, Kevin, what's the best piece of advice Terry has ever given you?
Best bit of advice, it would have been when he was young. Always hit first. No, I'm serious. He had a fight on his very first day.
What, as a baby?
No. I'd probably say the best bit of advice that I ever gave him was penny for the guy. Basically, it was like, if you can learn to beg as a boy, you will be able to feed yourself for life.
Let's see what Kevin says.
Show me how to set fire to mattresses and things like that. And things you can do with fireworks, putting up exhaust pipes, all that, all that sort of life skills.
Yes, he said
Can I
you
just
showed
say,
him how to
not-
set fire to mattresses, what you can do with fireworks and exhaust pipes.
Yeah, but...
Sort of life skills.
No. Look, this was the old days, just before computers and everything like that, when you had to make your own fun.
I will say to listeners, please don't try this at home. Go to Terry Christian's home and try it there. Not going to give you a point. Now, Jocelyn G. Essien. Now, Jocelyn, Paulette clearly has a lot of ideas about you and the amount you drink. But what do you know about her? We asked her, Paulette, what animal would you most like to be? When you think of her, is there an animal that comes to mind?
Paulette, no, because she's like a bunny rabbit. So I know.
So no, there's no animal.
No. Fox. Oh my
Fox
God,
is
no.
quite a good one. Fox is a good one. Because
hyena.
I think if you choose Fox, it's not going to insult her, and
Yeah.
it's quite like a kind of sexy
I think she'd
animal.
like to be a giraffe.
Okay.
What animal do you want to be, Joe?
I don't know, I just
you
want
can't
this
even
to
answer
end.
that. How can I answer? You know what? Let's make her a giraffe.
Giraffe.
Yeah, I'm going with a
Giraffe.
giraffe. And if it's not giraffe, then she's lying, and I'm still right, and I should get a point.
Right, giraffe, you're saying. Let's see what Paulette's gone for.
I'd be some kind of fish.
Some kind of fish.
It's a giraffe.
Paulette said that if she could be any animal, she would be some kind of fish, which is the most disinterested answer to any question we've ever asked on this show. Some kind of fish. She may as well have just hung up. Paulette hasn't specified which fish she'd be, so I guess I get to choose. And I'm going to go with beer-battered cod. No points, sorry. Aisling, here's another one for you. We asked Brona. Brona, what would be your dream day out? What do you think she said?
Oh, she'd go for a game of ping pong. She loves ping pong. Oh, no, she'd go to Wimbledon, so there'd be tennis or ping pong involved.
Yeah.
She'd go to a spa. Then at night time, she'd go to a musical of some sort. Maybe something in the West End, like the Book of Mormon type of thing, to cap off the day, and then a meal with a friend.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, this sounds like a lovely day. Let's see what Brona
Yeah.
went for.
Park to play ping pong.
Yes, Brona said her dream day out is playing ping pong in the park. Ping pong in the park, one of my favourite alliterative games, along with chess in the church and rounders on a railway line. Actually, the only game we played in my local park is called Don't Get Stabbed. And I'm the reigning champion. I'm
Ping
gonna
pong
give
in
you
the
two...
park sounds like a total euphemism, doesn't it?
For what?
Dogging, I don't know.
2 points there. At the end of that round, Terry's in third, Jocelyn's in second, and Aisling's in the lead. Now, we've heard a lot on this show about the people our panellists know, but I'd like to talk about some people that I know. And those people are you, the audience. You've been writing in to tell us some of the things you know, some hints and tips for better living that I like to call Lysett's Life Hacks. This one is from a Mr. D. Runcorn, who says that if you spill red wine on the carpet, it's a good idea to try using white wine, because you'll be so drunk you won't give a toss about the carpet. Thanks for that. This is a nice one. It's a way to save time getting ready in the morning. You can shave a good 10 minutes off your day and impress your colleagues by tattooing your entire body to look like a business suit. And that's from a Mr. A. Sugar. Sorry, Lord A. Sugar. Just one more from a Mr. Philip Fudge, who says you can save time on heating up your dinner by gaffer taping a Weight Watchers lasagna to your undercarriage and going for a jog. Thank you for those. I think it's time for round 3. Now, here's how round 3 works. I'll read out the answer to a question. What you have to do is tell me which of the nominees gave that answer. Was it Terry Christian's brother Kevin, Jocelyn G. Essien's friend Paulette, or Aisling B's friend Brona? Now, let's raise the stakes, because we're going to have some buzzers for the next few questions. But if you buzz in and you're wrong, a point will be deducted from your overall score. As Rachel Riley so often says on Countdown, cheats get beats and snitches get stitches. So, which of tonight's nominees, Kevin, Paulette or Brona, said that their biggest celebrity crush is Tom Daley? Terry, who do you think that was? Sounds very Kev to me.
I'd say Aisling.
Brona. Okay.
Brona, yeah.
What are you basing that on?
Daley, an Irish surname.
Yes, good logic.
Only women would watch diving off the diving board, wouldn't they?
Oh, I don't know about that, Terry.
It's like watching like a really budget Sherlock with you, Terry.
Let's find out. Whose celebrity crush is Tom Daley?
Tom Daley.
Yes, it was Brona. You're right. Yes, Brona's celebrity crush is Tom Daley. I get the feeling this is a love that will remain forever unrequited. Yes, Brona loves to imagine Tom descending on her from a great height and then surfacing breathless. 2 points to Terry. Let's try this one. Which of our 3 nominees, Kevin, Paulette or Brona, said their worst job was selling lemonade from the back of a lorry? Jocelyn?
Terry's, Kevin. But then also, I'm thinking, well, like Paulette told me this one time, but maybe I was drinking, I wasn't paying attention. I don't know. I think it was Paulette.
OK, let's see.
Selling lemonade off the back of a lorry.
It's Terry's brother Kevin.
Oh, no.
Yes, it was Kevin whose worst job was selling lemonade off the back of a lorry.
What do you mean worst job? It was his only job. It was the only job he had between the age of like 11 and 23.
What about burning mattresses for people?
Time for just one more. Which of our nominees said that when they were a child they wanted to be a truck driver? Aisling?
I'd say it's Kev.
OK, let's hear the answer.
A truck driver.
It was Paulette.
What?
Yes, it's Jocelyn's friend Paulette. Paulette dreamed of being a truck driver. While the other children played at being superheroes, Paulette would walk from one end of the playground to the other, dragging 40 tons of imaginary frozen fish behind her. What kind of fish? I don't know, some kind of fish. Time for just one more. Which of our nominees, Kevin, Paulette or Brona, said that if they had a time machine, they would go forward in time to see what the crack is? Terry?
Brona.
Well, let's see.
Yeah, I might nip forward like 10 years just to see what the crack is.
It's Brona. Yes, it
They
was.
love drugs, the Irish.
Yes. Let's just move on quickly. Yes, it was Brona who wanted to go forward in time to a point where Bono is dead and Ireland is finally free. It's the end of round 3, and in third place is Jocelyn, in second is Aisling, and out in the front now is our current leader, Terry! Well, we're reaching the climax of tonight's show, and I don't think I've ever been so excited, which tells its own miserable story. It's time for our final round, round 4. We call this round...
One massive
question. Why is it called One Massive Question? Because in this round, we will only be asking our panellists one question. And it is, wait for it, I think you're a step ahead of me, massive. It's a huge question that will really show us how well each panellist knows their nominee. And because it's a massive question, it's worth a massive 4 points. So, what's tonight's massive question going to be? It is... What is your nominee's favourite swimming stroke? Wow, this is a biggie. It's straight into the serious stuff. You all claim to know your nominees well, so I presume you've all been swimming with them. But what is your nominee's favourite swimming stroke? The front crawl, the backstroke, the thigh paddle, the bagpipe, the angry bus conductor, or the feminist struggle? Some of these are not recognised by the Olympics. Jocelyn G. Essien. Picture your friend Paulette Randall. How would she choose to swim away from the fish in which she has no interest? What would be her swimming stroke of choice?
I'd say breaststroke,
Why'd you say that?
because I just wanted to say the word breast.
Okay. Well, let's find out. Paulette, choose your stroke.
Front crawl.
Front crawl. I was
Yeah.
amazed you got to an answer in less than 20
I
minutes.
know.
Paulette going straight for the front crawl, not a woman who's afraid to get her face wet. Aisling B. Think of your old buddy Brona C. Titley.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine her cutting through the water like a swan. But what stroke would she choose?
Yeah, I'd say the breaststroke. I'd say, and you know, there's tit in her name as well. So I feel like it's
a good logic.
Bang on brand for Brona.
Well, I think we better find out. Brona, what's your swimming stroke?
Backstroke.
Oh,
It's backstroke for Brona. And that's how she got to us across the Irish Sea. And so we come to Terry Christian. Terry, this is a big moment. Think this through. Don't rush. Not just 4 points are at stake, but the entire reputation of the north of England. Picture your brother Kevin floundering in the deep end of a Mancunian swimming bath, his eyes reddened with chlorine, choking on an accidentally swallowed Veruca sock. What would be Kevin's swimming stroke of choice?
Well, I know for a fact that there's only one stroke that he would know, and there's only one stroke I know, and that is breaststroke.
Kevin, choose your stroke.
The breaststroke.
He's gone for breaststroke! Yes, you get 4 points there, Terry. And that is the end of this week's It's Not What You Know, so let's see the final scores. In third place is Jocelyn, in second place is Aisling, and the winner of the show, and on their way to that supply teaching stint, it's Terry! That's it. Thank you to all of our panellists, Terry Christian and his brother Kevin, Jocelyn G. Essien and her friend Paulette, Aisling B. and her friend Brona. And until next time, just remember, it's not what you know. Bye-bye! It's Not What You Know was hosted by me, Joe Lycett. Some of the things I said were written by me and James Kettle, with additional material by Aidan Butler. The show was produced by Matt Strong, and it was a BBC Studios production.